Hello YouTube, my name is Myles Anderson. I'm a professional joke explainer, and today I'm looking at a short clip of the comedian Bryan Callen, who's one of the best stand-up comedians working today.
All men are created equal is not something you can prove mathematically or biologically.
Okay, so we've already got him set up here. He's sitting on the stool. It's always super funny when stand-up comedians sit on the stool, because, you know, the art form is called stand-up comedy, and so by sitting on a stool, you're kind of turning the whole craft on its head, and people really notice this, and it takes a real master to sit on the stool like that.
It's not, but somehow in our hearts we know that that's the right way to be, man. Because if you look at the real world, like if LeBron James was sitting next to me right now, there is nothing equal about us, man. There's nothing. That guy looks like my avatar, all right? I got a bigger dick, but he's way taller.
So you normally, in comedy, again, too, comedians are very self-deprecating, but Bryan Callen here is kind of making it clear. He's saying he has a huge penis, which kind of, you know, is his style of comedy. So the crowd is sort of expecting him to, you know, sort of talk himself up a bit.
I know. And I had the most incredible experience recently about why you should always treat people like individuals and never think you're better than somebody, because you don't know what that person contributes. And I was on my plane, man, and I was about... So,
he mentioned just in the first couple seconds here that he has an enormous penis, and he owns his own plane. So he's doing quite well for himself.
I was about to take my seat, and I noticed that this young lady I was about to sit next to was a little bigger than most.
Okay, so it sounds like he actually doesn't own this plane. It sounds like he's on a plane, but when he is on a public aircraft, he refers to it as his plane.
Now that's relevant to my story because I happen to basically know everything about nutrition, okay? I'm basically a scientist. I'm right, you're wrong. If I tell you to eat it, okay? I know everything. I've read over 4 books, number one, okay? I lecture my own doctor on insulin. I had my doctor in a corner the other day. I was like, and another thing you don't understand about sugar and simple carbs, doc. And he...
So now he's being a bit self-deprecating. He's kind of dialing it back a little bit.
He was like, I'm with a patient or some bullshit. But the point is, I know about nutrition, and here was this woman a little bigger than most, and I thought to myself, you know what? This is your lucky day, because I got nutritional secrets in my brain that are gonna set you free. Hashtag athletic Santa Claus, I give. So I take my seat, I pull out my reading material, probably the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Economist, maybe a novel. I read widely. I feed my body and my brain. Notice how I'm not moving the seat back. I don't have to. I got strong lumbar support. I'm basically a samurai, okay? I don't even touch the seat. Sometimes I just work my fucking legs. Look at that shit. Anyway, we're in the air and I'm about...
So he's sort of in his setup of how he's sitting. He's doing it instead of just describing that he's sitting on an airplane, he's being very funny in how he's saying that he reads a lot of intelligent literature, and he's also making an act out that he's sitting on the airplane seat, again, which is very funny. He's being more creative this way than instead of just saying he's sitting on an airplane. He's kind of in a hilarious way describing in detail how he's sitting.
I'm about to turn and get this revolution started when I notice that this young lady I'm sitting next to is licking her thumb and thumbing through a stack of tabloid magazines about that thick, all about Hollywood, all about who's fat, who's skinny, who's best dressed, who's worst dressed, who's getting divorced, all this bullshit. So I'm like, wow, you read tabloid magazines? I guess you're part of the problem. And I do what you're supposed to. I dismissed her as a human being. I was like, you read tabloid magazines, I don't have to ignore the shit out of you for the rest of the flight. Enjoy yourself. I'm gonna read about the Chinese economy, etc. Hashtag part of the solution. Feeling...
Again, I think this is a lot more, this is just more setup material. He hasn't quite got to the jokes yet.
Feeling very good about myself, by the way. Now, As we're in the air, flight attendant gets on and goes, ladies and gentlemen, sorry the flight was delayed, but to make it up to you, we are handing out free cookies. Yeah, and the whole plane, I can just hear the energy, the air change. The cookies! Woo! People are clapping, they're all a titter, they're all excited. Not the fucking samurai. I can't wait to say no. Sure enough, she rolls your cookie cart up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, looking down on me like she's got all the power. She's like, cookies? I'm like, you know what? Nah, you can keep your brown discs of death to yourself. I don't eat sugar or simple carbs, but I know somebody who definitely does. Sure enough, young lady next to me goes, if he's not gonna eat his cookies, I'll take his share as well. I'm like, I fucking knew it. Then she decides to wash it down with some cranberry juice. Sorry, that's at least 155 grams of sugar right there. I can hear her pancreas panicking, okay? I can literally, I can't produce any more insulin. Please, somebody help me. My pancreas sound asleep. All right?
So he is kind of making fun of that he's a bit of a health guru himself.
All right, and she's eating those cookies and drinking that cranberries. I'm watching all that sugar go into her body, and she's licking and thumbing through them tabloid magazines, and I'm thinking to myself, in 20 minutes, you're gonna have your sugar crash. 20 minutes on the dot, she's out.
So saying it twice, sometimes you want to say things again, kind of adds to the impact of the words. This is all a really big setup. I'm excited to see where this goes here.
Like a light. I'm like, why don't they make a movie about me, man? So happy with myself. Now here's where the story gets interesting, and here's where the lesson starts to happen. About 10 minutes into her nappy poo, there's a young lady about 4 rows back who starts to have a medical emergency. I don't know what's going on, but she's flipping out in her chair. She's going, like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like that. And the woman next to her is like, something's wrong with her, I think. And the flight attendant comes over and goes, what's going on, honey? Everything okay? And this woman goes, and falls into the aisle and starts to freak out. They're like, oh my God, we need help. Please come over here. And I try to pick her. Oh, there. And I don't know what.
So sometimes, you know, you kind of want to sell your material if it's not as strong as other things. So you'll want to like run around a lot and make faces and voices and just kind of really try to get the crowd to understand that this is funny. Sometimes it can take a lot of physical energy to sort of force the crowd to understand that what you're doing is actually very funny right now.
I don't know what to do. I'm like, I have almonds if you need them. I don't know. And they're working, and the flight attendant moves over, and she grabs the thing. She goes, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a passenger who's very sick. We don't know what to do. If there's any medical staff on board or a doctor, we could really use your help. We don't know what to do. And the young lady that I've been judging this whole time, she woke up from her nap like a tier 1 commando. She just looked at me, she goes, move. I go, what? Move. I go, oh, fuck, sorry, okay. She comes walking over, slides, and she goes, what's going on? Is this her purse? Is this her purse? Okay, I see what's going on. How much longer do we have? Hour and a half, good. Honey, I need orange juice. I need a wet towel. Let's lift her legs. Let's bring her head up, please. Come on, guys, hold me up. Now, here we go. Hurry up with that orange juice, please. Let's pull these back. You guys gotta move back. Give me the orange juice. Okay, here. Take this pill, put it on her throat. She's gotta drink all of this, okay? I want her to swallow the pill, drink all of this. I'm gonna fly the plane to smoother air. And she comes back and she's working. I don't know what she's doing, dude, but she's just doing.
Okay, so obviously this was a believable story until she went to fly the plane to smoother air. He's kind of exaggerating the capabilities of this woman that he had judged earlier as not knowing anything about the human body.
And stuff, and she, at one point, they tried to get her back in the chair. Nobody could do it. She goes, move, get out of my way. She just gets under, and she just fucking and puts her in the chair like a baby. And now the woman, 10 minutes, the woman's going, come on, girl. We did it. We did this together. Don't leave me. No, I'm not gonna leave you. You're my ride or die, sister. You're my ride or die. We're doing this together. We got an hour and 10 minutes, and we did this together. We're not going anywhere. Can you drink a little more? So, that's my girl. There you go. Let me check your pulse. Oh, we got stabilized. We did it.
So I think that a lot of the comedy in what's happening here is just how long this bit is. He's been setting up a joke for about 6 minutes and 36 seconds now. The crowd is totally on edge. They're ready to laugh. The punchline is coming.
We did it. We stabilized you. You okay? Can I get a smile? Say, yes, my girl. Yes, you did. Thank you. No, thank you. We had an adventure. Everybody needs help sometimes, and I had a good time. Did you have a good time? Just kidding around. But you know what? We got an hour and 10 minutes, and we're gonna make it through. Can I get a hug? And they hug, and the whole plane starts to clap. And she just looks at me and she goes, please stop, whatever. I'll be there. Hour and 10. If you need it, you say boo, I'm right here, okay? But you're not gonna need me, okay? All right? Okay, good. I'll be right there. And she comes walking over and she goes, excuse me. And I was like, of course.
So, yeah, big applause break for, I guess, during the course of this, he learned his lesson that not to judge somebody based on what reading materials they have and what their body looks like and the kinds of food that they consume. So he's really being brave here in making fun of himself being judgmental of other people. Really good comedy, very, very funny stuff. Let's see what he does now.
And I take my seat. And I look at her and I go, that was incredible, man. How did you know what to do? And she goes, I'm an ER nurse, honey. I've seen it all. I was like, an ER nurse. The Cookie Monster saves lives.
Obviously a lot of ER nurses in the crowd for this joke. They're quite excited that he is saying what important people they are, and the skills that they have are very useful in an emergency situation like that. Funny stuff.
And I was like, what do you think was wrong with her? And she goes, I think she's about to have a diabetic seizure. Drank too much, didn't eat enough. I just had to stabilize her. I was like, diabetic seizure? That's what it felt like from here as well. And then she looks at me and she goes, I have to ask you a question. I was like, sure, what? And she goes, you're an actor, right? And I was like, yes. She's like, I knew it. I've seen you in so many things. You're so funny, and I've been looking for you in all these tabloid magazines since we took off, and I can't find you anywhere.
The big reveal. He was being mean, thinking what he thought.
And she could see my face freeze for a second.
That's funny
because it bugged
stuff.
me just a little bit. And this beautiful human being who puts everybody first and herself last, this person who's keyed in to human misery and pain, she read it on my face. She put her hand on my hand and she goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't tell me you put any stock into these tabloid magazines. These things mean less than nothing. They're brain sugar. They're eye candy. You make people laugh. You make me laugh. You made my mother laugh when she was sick. So don't you ever second guess yourself on my watch, my friend. She felt bad for me. And I was judging her because she had a couple cookies and took a fucking nap. And when I asked her how she helped that woman, you know what she said? She goes, I gave her some sugar. She was fine. So I don't know that much about nutrition. Shut the fuck up, Bryan. So if you believe in equality, God damn it, don't categorize, treat each other like individuals. I love you so much, Chicago. God bless you.
So that's his big. So his closing bit is about how he judged someone, and at the end, it turns out that he was wrong to have judged. Really a hilarious premise for a story, and it came to a real massive conclusion there. Really great comedy bit. I mean, he's one of the masters. If you want to learn how to do stand-up, I highly recommend studying Bryan Callen. He's definitely, he's on the Fighter and the Kid podcast, which is one of the funniest podcasts out there right now as well. So yeah, definitely check out his whole special. He's got it on the on Spotify and other streaming services as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this brought some new insights into why Bryan Callen is such a great comedian. And please like and subscribe if you want to see more.